Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Mike's Positively Technical World video review. Today we're going to be having a look at the beautiful Worx WX520. It's a 190mm 20V cordless brushless circular saw, and yeah, it's part of the Worx Nitro range, and yeah, it's beautiful. Love it. Let's really crack on. It claims that it can go down to 67.5mm in depth of cut, and it can do 45-degree miters at 47.5mm in depth of cut. It claims it's smooth cutting and 2.9 kilograms in weight, and it's lightweight apparently. I'll be doing a bit of research, try and give you some background, and just check the market really and see whether or not that really is lightweight. Really, we'll have a look at it and give it a try on cutting some pieces of wood, because that's what it's really designed for. So without further ado, let's I suppose we can just smoothly crack on, open it, and have a play without any stopping. Inside the box, we've got the usual blurb. Apologise at the moment, there's a giant storm going on outside, so if you hear any creaking, cracking, or anything like that, it's just my roof ripping off. Obviously, in however many languages you want, but let's have a quick look through the English stuff. It's the primary language I speak, so it's the one that I should really be having a look at. Here's a saw. It's got lots of functions. The battery's not one of them because it's 0.9. It's got an Allen key hidden, which I will show you in a second, and a way to put the blade on. It's got lots and lots of features. A total of 18 features of a circular saw. Obviously, we'll be able to show you the mitering function as well, and the various locks that it has on it. The dust extractor as well, that's pretty cool. You've got to give it credit where it's due. Lots of safety warnings. Obviously, it's quite a dangerous tool, this one, so let's not mess around with it. A guide to what all the symbols mean. Technical data, it's a 6,100 RPM no load speed. It's a 190mm blade. The arbor size, which is the central hole in the blade, is 30mm. The particular blade it's supplied with has got a kerf, or a saw blade thickness, tungsten carbide tip blade of 1.6mm. Its maximum cut depth is 67.5mm. Its maximum cutting depth at 45 degrees, 47.5mm, and the maximum cutting at 90 degrees is the maximum cutting depth, which is 67.5mm. The bevel capacity is from 0 to 57 degrees, and the machine weight bare tool is 2.9 kilos. It's compatible with all the types of batteries under the sun, right the way down from the little baby 1.5 amp or even the 1.3 amps before that, right the way up to the 4 amp and even the 6 amp batteries. And then it goes from all the vibration noise and the noise information right the way through to doing obviously the troubleshooting, which is surely, if it doesn't turn on, have you checked that the battery's charged? If the battery isn't charged, charge it. Yeah, you know, it's. I don't think there's anything more than that. Yeah, it really is that easy. That aside, let's crack it open and have a look. We kind of pulled it out, done a bit of a tease, and then went off on a tangent with the instructions. So, we've got a dust extractor. We have a side guide, which is made out of very basic, quite firm actually. Looks like a galvanized steel. Then we have the beast incarnate with a packet with a screw in it. Wow, that's a screw in there. That's for the a screw for the hole for the dust extractor, by the way. But that packet for that single screw, bless it. I suppose we better attach that first. To install the dust extractor, it's quite simple. You just line it up, push it in place, then take the screw, put it in the hole, It's a PH2 screw. So there you have it. It's nicely in place. And then you can connect it up to your choice of vacuum or extractor. And obviously the standard extractor types fit in, no issues at all. Should you wish to use them. Okay, included obviously in here, very hidden away. I say very hidden away. It's at the back here. Is the Allen key. There you go. This Allen key operates everything. It operates the guide holder at the front. It slid through like that. Obviously it goes right the way across to 0 on the edge. Should be where the blade meets the ether. And obviously you can go across in any increments you want, right there across your board. Okay, this is fine and hunky-dory, but of course we need a blade in there to start with. Let's put that to one side. Do that back up tight again so it doesn't vibrate loose. It does have a spring underneath it to try and ensure that. Then from the bottom of the packaging, sits there like that. We're going to take the 190mm blade, remove it from the plastic sheath. Then we're going to take the blade protector and we're just going to unwrap it. It starts just there. I would recommend that you wear a pair of gloves for this, just because TCT blades can be quite sharp. I've got quite a nice pair of Kevlar gloves. Some rubber pads on them. Should ensure that they don't cut. Also makes it a little bit more awkward to handle things, but I'm sure we'll overcome that. We're just going to take your circular saw here. There's a button on the back just here. We're going to push this down. That's going to engage the lock onto the main shaft. Then we're just going to undo this. You can also use, I think it's a 12mm spanner socket to undo it. If you're not trying to do this to camera, it makes it a hell of a lot easier. Just going to take the blade, place it on top of the arbor holder, like so. Take the large washer, place it on top, take the nut, and then just do it up. Then once we've finished, we're just going to take the Allen key, place it back in its hole at the back, and lock it in place. Then we're going to remove our gloves, so that way we can actually feel stuff again, including our fingers. So we've got lots and lots of knobs, switches, levers and dials on this. It's a homage to the Dial of Destiny. No. So you've got the blade guard, so you can successfully move the blade round if you're doing a plunge cut. You then also have a lever here and a screw to undo on the front. Release both of those, and then your bevel is unlocked, if you will. And they listened to me, because last time, if you remember rightly, with the exact track, I had a whinge that there was no lock for 45 degrees exactly, and it went up to 50 degrees. Well, they've listened to me, and I'd like to think they've listened to me anyway. And they've actually put a lock in at 45 degrees, and then you can actually override that even further to go for the full. Is it 47? It's 47 degrees on. It's very precise. So yeah, there you have it. Obviously, I don't particularly have need for a 45 degree mitre at this particular moment in time, so I'm just going to be doing straight cuts. However, it's nice to know that it's there. You also have a very, very cool feature, which is the little screw here. That means you can adjust the zero stop, so you can actually ensure that it's directly 90 degrees. So you can grab your square. Where is my square? There is my square right there. Poetic. You can ensure your blade is 90 degrees, which I'd like to point out that even after moving it around straight out of the box, this is 90 degrees, which is nice. Shows a bit of precision in it. The base on this is actually made out of a metal. I'm not going to say it's aluminium, because I don't think it is aluminium. I think it's like what's a metal? Like a pressed metal of some kind. It does have a slight bevel at the front edge here. And it does have a very nice indicator for the 45 degree and for the 0 degree, where you can obviously line up your workpiece, and a little hole cut out there so it's even more closer to the blade. That's a real nice touch, and I do like it quite a lot. You can obviously measure up the front of the notch, the cut line, and the back, and make sure you're actually directly on the line. Real nice touch. Once obviously you've lined up with the 0 degree mark, just lock it in place at the back as well. It's got a front and a rear lock, and also it's got another lock at the back. So if you're using it in 45 degree mode, then that can be locked in place as well. So yeah, that's sorry, that's a lie. This is actually for the depth. So the depth can be adjusted via this one. The two, it's got so many infinite amount of multiple ways of do stuff. So yeah, sorry, these ones are the front and back do the 45 degree angle, and then that one here does the depth, if you like. So it can go right the way from 0, which is where it is there, which means that even though this beautiful piece of hardened balsa is underneath here, it just doesn't touch it, by virtue of the fact being that this will go round and it won't mark it. Or obviously you can bring it down and it will mark it very deeply. You do have various marks on the back here, which you can't really see because of course it's dark, but it does mark 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 65 millimeters of depth, and it does have marks in between for the 5s, so you can set it up right the way down as low and as precise as you want, and obviously you could put it in between for technically a 2.5 mil if you want a rough estimate in between. Having said that, I would always recommend, if you are going to do a depth cut, that you use something along the lines of one of these that will obviously give you a more accurate depth of cut. These are quite easily available online. You don't have to buy the particular brand that I bought. They're pretty much all the same. They give you a readout very similar to a vernier. Right, so for the demonstration, what are we going to demonstrate on? We're going to demonstrate on a piece of wood. I'm going to get that set up, and you guys can join me in a second. Okay, for this test, we're going to be cutting a piece of classic 18mm plywood. We're going to be cutting it slightly lesser depth than the board, because otherwise it will go and rip right way through my worktop, which I don't really want. So yeah, let's give it a go and see how smooth the cut is. Here we go. Whoosh. And turn it outside of the light. We've got a lot of studio lights around here, but yeah, it's incredibly smooth. And okay, it's the first cut on the first blade and all that malark, but even compared to how I cut it last time, there's a definitive difference between those two cuts. And I like this one the best. So a bit subjective, but like I said, it's a saw, it cuts stuff. It's what it's really designed to do. So yeah, well done to it. Yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, it's a saw. It will cut through stuff. There's not really a lot more versatility that I can go through with it. Obviously, time will tell, and I always do try and give updates on my tools, various social media platforms, giving updates on them. So this will be definitely one to watch. It's going to be used mainly for obviously doing things like pallet cut-ups for me. So it's going to get quite a bit of abuse. I don't know, actually, go on. Just for you guys, because, you know, you're number one fans and all that every YouTuber says, but hardly any of them ever mean. But I do really appreciate you guys' viewership, so let's do a couple of bigger bits of wood. Let's do a freehand cut through this 50mm. Now I've got to make sure that obviously I do it deep enough to go through the 50mm piece of wood, because that would be really embarrassing if not. Right, so I've set that up to about 50mm, and then I'm just going to take the end off of it. It's a little bit alarming how nice and how good this really is, if I'm honest. I'm not saying it's better or worse than anything else in the market, because it's not really my place to say that. I just give an opinion what I think about the tool. This real fine sawdust kind of says all I need to know about it personally myself. It cuts rather than chews, even though it's got like a rough cut blade on it. It only comes with, I think it's a 24 TPI blade. It's indeed a 24 TPI blade, but it's just really nice how smoothly it cuts. It's a very similar cut to obviously the Worx Exact Track gives, the WX520. WX520, I think I've got that wrong. WX530. I do stand corrected, but I also know when I get stuff like that wrong. So yeah, it cut through that really nicely, but like I said, it's got that real nice fine finish blade on it without actually being a fine finish blade. It's 24 TPI, it's technically still a rough cut blade. Just having a quick look, see if we've got some thicker pieces or some harder stuff. So here we have a piece of very matured, tight-grained oak. And I think that we should try and chop some of this up with the WX520. I'm just going to try a little sliver. It's not going to be massive, because I want to try and preserve as much of this as possible. Never know when you might need it. So yeah, let's give it a go across. Let's see what it's like. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Yeah, it's a bit of oak. It's just got cut. There's not really a lot more to say to it. I mean, I can sit there and just cut bits and pieces of wood all day long, just for your gratitude and appreciation. But really, like I said, the test of this is going to be in the longevity factor of it, and how long it lasts out in the field, and indeed how long, obviously, I get out of it. I will obviously report back with some facts and figures, if you like, of how much current it draws and how long it lasts. I'll put those in the description as and when obviously I find them. I will update this post on the video if you like, and yeah, I'll let you know how I get on. Like I said, I'm mainly going to be using this for cutting up pallets and stuff, as well as doing a couple of projects which we've got in the house. We're about to do mass renovations in the house, so it's going to be used and abused and abused again, really. So yeah, I'm also going to be using it across the workshop, obviously as and when necessary. It's going to now be my go-to circular saw. So yeah, like I said, I'm not really too like, you know, going to give you an opinion on it. I can just show you what it can do. You can cut across a 9x2 very, very nicely, very, very nicely. He says, dropping the 9x2 on the floor. Oh, nice one, Mike. Oh. It can cut across a bit of 9x2 that is split into very nicely. It does it quite smoothly as well, and it also cuts a 2.5x2 piece of oak, again extremely nicely. I'm not going to say anything negative about it yet because I don't really know. As long as I don't know and I haven't tried it for any length of period of time, I have no opinion. And also done the 18mm piece of plywood, which I'm struggling to find the other end of it, but there we go. Yeah, it's, you know, it's very, very efficient. I do love the fact being how powerful it seems. It doesn't seem to bog down on anything. You've seen it in use as much as I've seen it in use, really. So yeah, I haven't really got an opinion on it yet, but like I said, I will update. Take care of yourself, guys, and I shall see you in the next video, whenever that may be. And as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of my Worx reviews.